A psychiatrist lost everything in the Holocaust: his wife, his parents, his life's work, his manuscript. He was stripped of his clothes, his name, and his freedom. He watched people around him die every single day. And inside that darkness, he discovered something that no one could ever take from him, something that became one of the most important books ever written about what it means to be human. The book is called Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. He wrote it in 9 days after being liberated from the Nazi concentration camps. It has sold over 16 million copies, and the reason it has never stopped selling is because the question it answers is the one every human being carries, but rarely asks out loud. Why am I here and does my life matter? Lesson 1. Meaning is the most powerful force in human survival. Frankl observed something in the camps that no textbook had ever described. The prisoners who survived the longest were not the strongest or the healthiest. They were the ones who had a reason to live, a child waiting for them, a book they needed to finish, a person they needed to see again. He concluded that a human being can endure almost any suffering if they have a why powerful enough to carry them through it. Without meaning, even comfort becomes unbearable. Lesson 2. You cannot control what happens to you, but you can always control your response. Frankl called this the last of the human freedoms. Everything can be taken from a person except one thing: the freedom to choose how you respond to any given situation. The guards could control his body. They could not control what he decided to think, to feel, or to believe inside his own mind. That space between what happens and how you respond is where your entire life is actually built. Lesson 3. Suffering is not the problem. Meaningless suffering is. Frankl did not teach people to avoid pain. He taught them to find purpose inside it. He said, if there is meaning in life at all, then there must be meaning in suffering. Every difficulty you are facing right now is either breaking you or building you. The difference is not the difficulty itself. It is whether you can find the purpose inside it. Pain with meaning becomes fuel. Pain without meaning becomes destruction. Lesson 4. Love is the highest form of meaning. In the depths of the camps, Frankl found himself thinking about his wife. Not about surviving, not about food or warmth, about her face, her voice, her laugh. He wrote that in that moment he understood something he had never fully grasped before: that love is not something you feel when conditions are right. It is something that exists independently of whether the person is present or even alive. Love is meaning itself in its purest form. Lesson 5. Do not chase happiness. Let it follow you. Frankl warned against making happiness your direct goal. He said happiness cannot be pursued. It must ensue. It is the natural result of living a life of meaning, contribution, and purpose. The people who chase happiness directly almost never find it. The people who commit to something larger than themselves, to a calling, to service, to love, to truth, almost always discover happiness arriving quietly on its own. Lesson 6. Your life is asking you a question. Answer it with action. Frankl flipped the way most people think about meaning. He said, stop asking what the meaning of your life is. Life is asking you that question, and you answer it not with words, but with how you live every single day. Every choice you make is your answer. Every moment of courage, kindness, discipline, or love is your answer. The meaning of your life is not something you find. It is something you build one decision at a time. Viktor Frankl survived the unsurvivable. And what he brought back from that darkness was not bitterness or despair, it was proof. Proof that no matter what is taken from a human being, meaning cannot be destroyed. And where there is meaning, there is always a reason to keep going. What gives your life meaning right now? Not what should, what actually does. Leave it in the comments. and follow, because the next video breaks down the book that shows you exactly how atomic sized habits done consistently are the only thing separating the life you have from the life you want. I will see you there.